Stepping onto a South African industrial site requires an active eye for safety. Every movement demands a deliberate assessment of surrounding forklifts and machinery. We define occupational safety as the specific condition of being safe from undergoing hurt, injury, or loss in the workplace. By the end of this tutorial, you will transition from a passive bystander to a professional capable of identifying and mitigating a workplace's hidden dangers. Step 1 is identifying a hazard, a source of exposure to a potential danger, such as a heavy object resting precariously on a high shelf. Next, we look at unsafe acts. These are specific human behaviors that cause danger, like a worker running through a high-traffic zone while carrying tools. Then we have unsafe conditions. These are physical deviations from safety standards in the environment itself, such as a cluttered walkway or exposed electrical cables. You must accurately diagnose whether a risk stems from a human behavioral flaw or a physical environmental flaw. Identifying the correct root cause dictates the correct fix. This grid breaks down South African safety signage under General Safety Regulation 2B, using shapes and colors to communicate danger. The top row's yellow triangles indicate warning signs. Below that, the red circle indicates prohibition, actions you are forbidden to take. This specific blue sign falls under the mandatory category. Blue backgrounds indicate an action or piece of equipment that is strictly required, like wearing ear protection in this zone. The remaining categories use green squares to mark safe zones and exit routes, while orange draws attention to dangerous moving machine parts. Internalizing this visual language allows you to bypass reading text, enabling immediate recognition of a safety requirement during an emergency. Environmental Regulations for Workplaces, or ERW6, dictates that housekeeping is the structural foundation of a safe site. No articles or equipment may cause danger due to their condition. Safe material storage follows strict rules. Pallets must bear cumulative loads. Bag ends must face inwards, and walkways require clear demarcation. You must never climb stacks of materials. The safety regulations mandate using ladders, making free climbing an absolute prohibition. Implementing proper housekeeping eliminates the trip and collapse hazards that cause the majority of workplace injuries. This diagram maps out the legal setup for a ladder under General Safety Regulation 13A. The base must be set at a 1:4 distance-to-height ratio from the supporting wall. Here you can see an orange machine guard. All rotating parts and nip points must be physically enclosed to prevent contact. During maintenance, we use lockout-tagout, or LOTO. This is the critical process of physically locking a power source so the machine cannot be accidentally activated. Applying strict equipment geometry and LOTO protocols shifts your approach. You stop reacting to active hazards and start permanently neutralizing them. This inverted triangle illustrates the hierarchy of controls. The law requires employers to eliminate hazards completely before they resort to personal protective equipment at the very bottom. When PPE is required, it must be task-specific. You use leather gauntlets for heavy cutting, not standard cotton gloves. Everyone on site has an individual duty to locate the green exit routes and assembly points before an emergency occurs. Relying on PPE or an evacuation plan means all other safety systems have failed. They are your absolute last lines of defense. You now have the baseline skills to identify hazards, obey color codes, maintain housekeeping, and respect machine guards. When these systems operate correctly on a daily basis, they work together seamlessly to maintain a highly functional, completely hazard-free facility. Our focus now expands from the safety of the individual inside the plant to the impact of the facility on the world outside. In our next episode, we transition to environmental management and waste handling. Stay vigilant.